Hey guys, I'm here with Ad Finem, one of the greatest teams here in the major. I love you guys, you're amazing. Now, before we begin, I did this with your other teammates as well. I would like you to talk to the camera. You're new, and people need a first impression of you. So I want you to say your name, look into the camera, and sell that first impression. It's what they're gonna remember you forever with. So here we go.
I'm Madara Omar Dabasas. Hello.
Good. Remember that. Don't forget that, guys. Do not forget that. That was good. All right. All yours. Get it to the camera. Give it your love, dude.
Hello, I'm Yorgos, SSA Spartan, and we are the underdogs, and the dogs going high.
No, guys. Oh my God.
We're gonna beat you up!
What are you doing? Dog! Get your ass back here! The dogs go high, Thug! The dogs go high! Okay. Thug, give it to him.
I'm Dimitrios Plivouris. I'm playing mid for Ad Finem.
That was good! That was good. It wasn't dogs go high, but it was good. All right. You guys know each other very well. We, as the Dota community, we got to get to know you more, and I want to see just how well you know each other. So we're going to play a game.
Okay.
Here's how you play the game. Okay. I'm going to say one of you. I'm going to point to one of you, and I'm going to ask a question. And then you guys all have to write what you think the answer to that question is. When I point to you, write down what the real answer is, okay?
Okay.
Very easy. Here we go. Are you ready? Question number one. What was the worst moment they ever had in game? And we're gonna do you first. Write down the worst moment you've ever had on Team Ad Finem in a game.
No play.
The most, okay, how about the most embarrassing moment he's ever had in a game?
Oh boy.
Are you ready? Write it down. I'll hold this for you. Don't worry about it. Take your time. If he doesn't have any, you could write that down. Say he's perfect. That's fine.
Okay.
But you should write down your answer, though. What to you was the most embarrassing moment? Don't say it out loud. No. You're good. Okay. All right, are we all ready?
Yes?
Okay, I
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip them around. Show the cameras. I don't know, and then you wrote LOL 3 times. Okay, and what does yours say?
Smaller letters, please.
What? You show the camera, not us. Just say what it means in the microphone, sir. What did you
Okay,
write?
he bought back at major qualifiers against Liquid.
All right.
He almost threw the game.
And your answer was?
Correct!
Correct! All right, that's good. Good job, well done. All right. All right, this one's for you, Spartan.
Okay.
All right. Everybody, please write down Spartan. What is his favorite dish? What is his favorite meal?
Meal?
Favorite meal for Spartan. This taking so long. It's just the food. All right. On 3, boys. 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're still doing this. Okay. Take your time.
Okay, no,
Okay, good.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Flip them around.
Oh, it's like it's a Greek food.
Yeah, he's lying.
No,
What?
no, it
He's
is.
lying.
It's a.
You're lying.
That's the correct one.
It's spaghetti, but it's in Greek.
No, that's the correct one.
No, it's not. That's a Greek. Shit. No.
What?
no, that's my favorite food.
With hearts.
Yeah, it's
Hearts.
pistachio. Yeah,
That is hot. All right. What pasta with meat? Is that correct?
pasta with meat. Yeah, it's
Oh, okay. So okay. So well
correct.
done. All right. We're still good. All right.
I got it.
yeah.
All right, Thug. This one's good one. All right.
Two.
What is Thug's favorite hero? What is Thug's favorite hero?
Alright.
All right.
All right. Okay. Easy peasy. This should even I know this one. Dude. This is like I don't know anything, and even I know this one. Okay. What are you? Don't show your spoilers, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. Are we ready?
Right now, I'm going right on.
You okay?
Go.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Flip it. Ah, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay, it's time to.
Alright.
All right, very good. Everyone got that one. All right, it's time to spice this one up. It's been really easy so far. So here's a hard question for you. All right.
Yes.
Which one of you 3 do you think would survive the longest on a desert island with your entire team? All right. Out of you three, which one would live the longest on a desert island with your team? Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, flip them. Me, of course. Spartan and Spartan. All right. Okay, another easy one. Damn, I don't know how to stump you guys. You guys are too good. I just want one question where you don't get them right. Okay, all right. Which one of you, out of everyone on your team this time, who is going to be the MVP at the Boston Major? Which one of you is going to be the best?
Oh,
Which one is going to win the games for you?
That's a hard question.
That is a hard question.
I can't blame.
Hey guys, I'm here with Ad Finem. Are we good?
Everyone will say me, but I want to say something else.
Okay.
I'm gonna raise their moral.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say,
No.
okay. I'm going to play Irish.
Are you done, dude? Are you done? Why are you erasing yours? We were still ready. God damn it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alright, wait.
Okay.
He's our secret player.
Okay, are we ready?
I'm
Oh, no.
gonna give it to
Okay.
you.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. Me, Scott, and then we have to bleep that now. And then
Who is this? Kanto-kun?
Our coach.
our coach.
He's our secret player.
Wow. All right. Well, we
He's
finally
the
stumped him. Thank
Okay, I
you,
said Skylar.
guys. You are just an amazing team. Thank you so much for this hard work. It's been a blast, and I hope you guys do great at the major. Thank you so much. Hello, guys. I'm here with Ad Finem. How's it going, boys? Now, you guys are new to the scene a little bit, right? This is your first big major, right?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Okay, so I want you to give your best introduction to people that are seeing you for the first time. Say your name, how you want them to remember. This is your first impression. Give it like how you want them to remember you from now on.
I'm Skylar, I play for Team Ad Finem, and I'm the best Beastmaster in the world.
That's it. I mean, all right. Hit it up.
Okay. I'm maybe next time Boxos Veros, and I am the support of Team Ad Finem and the Hidden Ace.
The hidden ace. I like best Beastmaster in the world. That's hard. What
As
is
a tattoo, you should show the camera the tattoo, man.
Alright.
the what?
He has tattoo of Beastmaster.
Holy shit! Is that real?
Yes, he has a continuous in the back.
That's freaking awesome. Okay, you actually are the beast. I hope that he never gets nerfed. What if he gets like Techie's nerfed? What are you gonna do?
He got nerfed like 4 times in a row, right? How much more is gonna be?
What more can happen? All right. So you guys are an amazing team. There's nothing you can't do. You guys are good friends, and I want to test that friendship here today. Are you ready to test it? I'm gonna play a little thing called the dating game. I'm not gonna make you date. We're just gonna ask questions. I want you to grab these guys right here in front of you, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw a picture. Yeah, you can put your microphone down, so I'll hold it if you want. All right. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you guys to draw the answer of your partner, right? What he would think. For example, if I say, "What's your favorite food?" You're gonna draw his favorite food, and then or just write it. So you don't have to.
I'm not good at it.
Okay, no drawing. That's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question. You write down what it is, then you guys flip it and see if it's correct. All right? Here we go. Question number 1. What is his least favorite hero? His least favorite hero. Write it big. Gotta have the camera see it. What? Yeah, E-R-K. Oh, O-R-K.
Oh,
Oh, that was a close one. Jeez. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. What do we got?
home.
Well, you both hate Clockwork? Is that
You should the other guys.
the other guys? You're
Are you
supposed to write
stupid?
his least favorite hero.
Yes. My least favorite hero is Clockwork.
Yes.
He's so fucking.
He's your worst hero as well.
You know, that's 2 different things. That's 2 different things. Least. Okay.
Every time he uses Clockwork, he's mad at yes, picking it.
What is your least favorite hero if it's not Clockwork?
First of all, I want to say that my teammate is mentally challenged. I want to say this from the beginning. And Clockwork is not my least favorite hero. My least favorite hero is like Ogre Magi.
Ogre Magi?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Why
That's
Ogre
a
Magi?
lie.
It's a useless hero that you just have to sit behind course and use Bloodlust. That's your whole job. And everyone who plays Ogre should like max bloodlust and then use stats, guys, and you win game.
That's great.
All he does every game with Ogre is just smoke and kill the Korean bloodlust. He thinks he's bounty hunter.
Well, okay, all right, sorry about that. All right, well, let's try another one. What is your partner's least favorite thing to be called? It's their least favorite thing to be called. What's something that annoys them? Or how about, I'll just make it easy for you. Seems like you're having difficulty with that. What annoys your partner most?
What an off.
Annoys your partner most. What tilts them the
Has
most?
to be one word.
Sure, or no, you can write it out, sure. What annoys your partner the most?
I got a word.
Okay. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. Tickling in weeboo. Okay, I need some. Is that correct? Is the thing that annoys you the most is weeboo? Is that like
That's the anime thing, right?
the anime
Yes,
thing?
Yeah.
You don't like the weebs?
It's close out there.
I don't like the cringy stuff.
Oh, so we're in trouble then. This is not good. Okay,
I don't like yeah. Madara, he's a weirdo. He's a weeble, you know.
Oh, he's a weeb, so you're not into it.
Okay. No, I'm joking. He's
JK,
half
JK.
weeble, half weeble.
Half only half. Okay, cool. Tickling, is that accurate? Is the thing that...
Yeah,
And that thing triggered me.
he gets triggered.
Okay.
That's why I do it.
He knows that because I do it all the time.
Okay, so
With
he's
Puka.
right though. I mean, that was good. Okay. One more, and then I'll let you be free. Last one. This one's important. What is your partner's favorite thing in life? Favorite thing in their entire lives. The thing that they love the most. Not like your family. That's lame as shit. Give me like their favorite thing
Favorite thing.
to do, to eat, anything. Their most prized thing. What is it? He wrote it down instantly. This is concerning for you. You haven't.
He's laughing.
He knows. He knows.
I cannot know the answer. He's.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right.
I need some seconds here.
Take your time. This is important. All right, you're taking too much time. You're taking too much time. All right.
I got something in mind.
Okay.
Take your time, sir.
Take your time.
Maybe next major.
I'm gonna type the usual here.
Okay, go for it.
Maybe next major, sir. You'll be ready. Hello.
Okay, well, you know, that's something. All right, 1, 2, 3, flip them over. Okay, we have food and then girls or boys? Girls or boys? All right, so
last one.
please describe. What is that accurate? Is your favorite thing girls or boys?
I should maybe you should ask him.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean, dude? What are you doing?
I mean, the girls, yes. The boys is to trigger him for something he did earlier.
Okay.
By boys, I believe he means my team. Maybe.
Oh, your boys.
Yes.
Like your homies.
He means he means Ad Finem, I think.
Okay.
Like I said in the beginning, he has some.
Mother.
Yeah.
All right. So, is that accurate? Is your favorite thing in the world girls or your team?
Above everything else, it's girls, you know, and like Ad Finem.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good.
If the women are here, Ad Finem are like bottom, you know. So
All right. Well, that's good. Then he's
Yeah.
right. He's right. Okay. So yours was food for him. Food. That's your favorite thing in the world.
That's a lie. I gotta say girls too.
Girls as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So
no. He eats like you have never seen a person eat before.
if you could never eat again, or you could never see a girl again, what would it be, dude? You would live. You wouldn't die if you couldn't eat food. Never. No more girls or no more food. We're about to get to the bottom of if he's right or not.
Depends if the food is good.
It's your favorite, just food. You'll never be able to taste again or never see a girl again. What are you gonna do?
Alright, I think definitely food.
Okay, so he was right. Yeah, that was correct. You just had to reveal that to yourself. Well, and look at that. You guys learned something new about each other here for the first time. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations, guys. You did great. Probably better than any team I've ever seen before. Well done, boys. Thank you very much.
matchup, Newbie versus Ad Finem.
Welcome back to the Boston Major. E-home sent home in a full 3 games. In fact, the first time we actually got to see a full 3, and that was thanks to NP. I'm not trying to rhyme, I promise. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson. We've got another series to look forward to now. It's time to see the very exciting Greeks on the main broadcast, surprising us in the group stage with some very close 3-game series, and they're going up against Newbie, a team who are, despite losing 3 TI-winning players, still looking fantastic. Let's have a look at the 2 teams, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty with my panel.
An organization synonymous with success put its faith in a band of talented youngsters and has reaped the rewards. Led by Kaka, the fearsome genius of mid-SCCC and carry UUU9 have already terrorized the Chinese scene this autumn. This direct invite team is undoubtedly a major threat. Welcome on stage, Newbie. This band of Greek gladiators stuck together through thick and thin. And now, their major breakthrough has finally arrived. Benefiting from the vast improvements of mid-laner Thug, they dominated the European regional qualifiers in style. This is the biggest tournament of their careers so far, and after the trials and tribulations to get this point, they will relish every second of it. Welcome on stage, Ad Finem.
Newbie versus Ad Finem. This is actually a matchup that a lot of our panel are excited to introduce. So much storylines crammed into one spot. I know, in particular, I think, Fog, you are particularly looking forward to seeing what the Greeks can do on the main stage. It's a little something to do with Greek origins, perhaps?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. We gave Winter the same thing with the Warriors. Don't frown at me. Winter's joining us again in his baby pink. How are you doing today, dude? Good to have you back on the desk.
Thanks.
Yeah, I missed you, but then again, I also loved your cast.
Wow, thanks.
Was that your first cast in the main event?
Yeah,
I've
never done that.
How did it feel?
Great.
Yeah? Get hyped? Do you have the crowd just cheering you on behind you?
Yeah, I like casting with Gorman.
Yeah, he makes lots of loud noises with his mouth. He's good at that. He is. And Shiva's joining us as well on the panel.
Yes.
Whew, this is good. Newbie are going to be our first discussion topic, though. We'll be getting to the Greeks later. Fog, bite your tongue.
I said nothing.
I appreciate that. But the storyline coming into this one, Shiva, it seems to be that this rebuild project, getting Newbie back into this kind of, defending their dynasty almost with some young blood. Does that sound right to you?
Yes. We described it as the Chinese version of OG earlier on this tournament, where you have SCCC being the miracle, high MMR, star player, and everybody else has to kind of fall in around him to make sure that he has a great game and just basically push themselves to victory with SCCC at the head in terms of performance. So a lot of pressure on that guy, but he is a guy that actually can handle it, and he is definitely a rightfully so star player on the team.
SCC caught our eye in the group stages as well, Winter. There was more than one occasion you were telling me that you think he's a top contender alongside the likes of maybe for, the real hard hitters of China in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think one of his best heroes, obviously everyone knows the Invoker, but the hero has, been somewhat not favored by the teams as much because you have to play the hero very well, and he's very weak in the early stages, but we saw a lot of teams, especially like VP, they put so much pressure in the early game. Like when you have a weak laning phase, you get punished very, very heavily.
Yeah, and of course, all kind of under the shroud of Kaka, a name I'm sure you're no stranger to, Fogged.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like overall, they're a very good unit. They have two players who have been, or at least like two players that have been around for a long time, and then they have very aggressive players as well. Not only just consistent, but they're very good at what they want to do, what their game plan wants to be.
Right.
They always they emphasize a lot on giving SCC a very good lane. Same thing with UU9. KP makes so much space for this team. He's always just making the plays across the map. So he's usually like the kind of sacrificial lamb for this team, just tanking a few deaths, but making the plays happen.
His transition really well. Like back before when he was playing with Hao and Mu, he was probably doing a lot more farming. He played some Naga Siren games for the team. But right now he's more like you said, the space maker. He's different now on the off lane.
Yeah, I'm seeing relentless nods as well. You're a big fan of KP, Shiv?
I am. I really love watching that guy on the off lane. I don't know how he does as much as he does with the... Like, he doesn't take that much farm, Everything goes to UU9 and SCCC, and then you got KP just being able to make all these plays with a very small amount of farm that he gets.
He likes his Midas, though.
He does like his Midas. That does help.
Yeah. Well, and all of this is happening with the voice of Kaka in their ears. He is, of course, their captain. Captain Kaka, it sounds good to say. And now we're going to have his voice in our ears as we check out an interview with Slacks.
Hey guys, I am here with Kaka from Newbie. Here you are, sir. Boston Major, Newbie at another big event. Who would have thought?
在我的意料之中吧，因为我觉得我们可以来到这里。
Yeah, I thought so as well. So I want to talk to you about just the team chemistry in general. You lost 3 very strong players, all TI winners, and you've got a new squad, and you're one of the most senior members. How are you guys feeling?
就磨合起来，现在还是非常棒嘛，就是每个人的默契都非常好。
Good, good. You guys play a lot of games. I think you play the most games out of anybody else in Dota. Is there a reason why?
就是因为我们就是基本上每个比赛嘛，我们都打进了最后面，基本上，所以我们打的比赛就非常多。
So you're so good. You play so many matches because you guys are good. Well, I can understand that. Okay.
运气比较好吧，都打得比较后面，就是打到赛程都打到最后的赛程吧，决赛日什么的。
Sure, sure. So you're one of the more senior members of the squad now. I wanted to ask you about your teammates. What can you tell me about SCCC? He's a serious guy from what I've talked to him.
他之前是当兵的嘛，就是他在游戏里面的话，就是非常认真嘛，就是打法会非常凶，会干一些非常有侵略性的举动。然后生活上的话，就有一个是比较贴心的一个人，就是比如说不知道怎么形容，就是一个非常贴心的人嘛，然后也就人狠话不多的那种。
Cool. So who's one of your favorite guys that's on your team? Who do you mesh well with outside of the game? Who's like your good friend on the squad?
我跟 KB 关系应该算 应该是最好吧，因为我跟他待了上一个时期的NEWBEE，我跟他也是队友嘛。我们这个时代的NEWBEE的话，其他3个人都是新人嘛，但是我之前都有接触，就这样子。
You're a serious guy, I gotta admit. What do you do outside of Dota for fun? Tell me a little bit about Kaka.
就是我在游戏外的话，一般就看一下电影，然后看一下动漫，然后平常的话就是单排，基本上就没有别的了。
I think that's the same for all Dota players, right? I mean, that's pretty much the MO these days. Anime, solo queue, maybe some movies. So I understand. Very good. Okay, I want to know about how you think you're going to do in Boston. NEWBEE seems to do extremely well. They get to the end, and then it's almost, they sometimes just don't get it. Do you think that you have the ability to win this one?
我觉得单败的话，可能就是能打赢这个，然后才会往后看，就是只看好眼前的，就是慢慢打嘛。
Very excited to see where you guys end up at the major. It's been always a pleasure to watch your games. Any words out there for people watching at home?
希望我们能打进前4吧。我们来之前的目标是前4，希望看运气怎么样了。
All right. Well, let's hope that fortune smiles down on NEWBEE as they fight their way through that single elimination bracket here at the Boston Major. Best of luck to you guys, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some more from them very soon.
Getting to hear from Kaka as the new look NEWBEE has already been finding success. Of course, not forgetting they came in as 2nd seed of their group, just falling short of taking the 1st seed and meeting the 4th respectively. But now, NEWBEE from China. Winter, you were suggesting that they they're not opposed to changing their game plan coming into different opponents.
Yeah, they're really flexible. They play a lot of different strats. They adjust their playstyle depending on opponent. And some teams, like OG, they don't really, care much about what the opponents do. They're really focused on what they're doing. But a team like NEWBEE, they are always changing. They have I think Shiva mentioned that Jack told her, NEWBEE are not a team that does very well against an uncharted opponent. If they don't know much about the opponent, they don't do well.
Yeah, they actually said that they are not good against teams that they're unfamiliar with. Now, the lucky thing for them is that Ad Finem actually played 9 games in the group stages. All their series went to 3 games. So they have a lot of stuff to work with, but if that's enough, I don't know.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's where we're going next. Ad Finem and just their general prowess has been quite well praised. They're the only team to actually make every single series a full 3-game stomp. And it's not a stomp, excuse me, I couldn't find the word. But Madara, Thug, Skylark, maybe next time, and Spartan. Not only do they have these achievements in the group stage, but they got 1st in their EU regionals, and a team that I think is definitely worth singing about, Fog.
Yeah, they are a team that I would say they suffer a bit in the laning phase, but then they have this explosive mid-game. Their team fight prowess is probably one of the best ones that we've seen in quite a long time. I guess maybe just you can assume that it's just because of their synergy. You can look at that interview with Slacks and you see, wow, these guys they're buddies. They know each other so well. They kind of know their play styles, know exactly what they hate, what they like. That really helps you when you get into those type of skirmishes, like who's going to communicate, where are they going to communicate as well.
Or you don't have to communicate to do certain things. That actually helps a lot. Like when sometimes you don't have time to say a certain move, but your teammate, because he's so well familiar with your playstyle, then he knows you're going to do that.
And that's just something that you cannot get when you have this fresh roster. It comes with time and with playing the game together.
Yeah, they've been together for a very long time. Before this, they were
1.5 years.
1.5 years or so. Yeah. Before this, they were London Conspiracy, and then I think they swapped out one player. I think Skylark came in.
So is this one of the longest standing rosters? Like
at this event, Wings probably a little bit longer.
WG also more than 1 year together.
Okay.
They made like 1 or 2 swap outs, but they are pretty much majority the same. Roster.
Just a handful. Just a handful then.
Yeah.
Ad Finem are up there as sticking together and trying to show that it does indeed work. We're going to be looking at maybe next time as he sat down with Slacks, and then we'll be talking further about what the Greeks have to offer here in the Boston Major.
Hello, I am here with MNT, as he calls himself. Maybe next time. Which one do you prefer, actually?
MNT is better for you, I think.
Oh, frightening. Okay, great. Well, let's begin. So, Ad Finem, I want to talk to you about your team. You guys are actually all insane from everything that I've seen so far. You yell, you party, you every match is insanity. tell me about your team. Describe for people who've never seen Ad Finem in real life, and trust me, it is worth it. What do you guys like?
Spartan is the most hyped and the most straightforward guy. He's laughing 24/7. And he's gonna hug you even though if he doesn't know you. So sometimes that's an issue. Then we have Skylark, who's the calm guy, who's calm and collected, and he eats like a monster. That's his attributes. Being good at Dota is not one of them. Then we have Madara, our tremendous carry. He's also a pretty cool guy, doesn't talk too much. Then we have Thug, who's the coolest of all of us, always with the great jokes and stuff. He always talks about how he's from a tough neighborhood, so we cannot mess with him because he's from Tavros. But as a team, we all really love the game, and we're all hyped when we get to play the game. So every game for us is pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big deal for you. I believe that this is your biggest event, right?
Yeah, by far.
You guys have some unique conditions that you play under. I was talking to some of the guys that worked with you guys. One of them said that you shut off all the lights when you play. Is that accurate? Is that a thing?
Yeah, but I thought it was ordinary for all the teams. I don't know. Seems pretty normal to me. Everything is no lights and just play.
That's very focused, though. I mean, you guys don't see anything but your monitors, and then the screams in the darkness. I mean,
pretty sure if anyone is playing professional Dota and is looking at something else but the monitor is doing a bad job, so yeah.
You see?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, you guys are innovating all over the place. Now, you talked all over about your teammates. You didn't say anything about yourself. I've done a little research on you. So, you used to sell fireplaces.
Yeah, I was working at, it was a family business, and we used to build fireplaces with stone and stuff.
Yeah.
And then at some point we got to bring new fireplaces and sell them because it was a different kind of fireplaces. I can sell you some if you want.
Hey, that'd be great.
We can talk later.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna do a special offer for you.
Oh wow, that's great. Now, so that was a family business, right? And then how did they feel about you kind of doing all this Dota stuff? Because you had to leave that then, eh? Or was that a long time ago?
No, it was we were forced to close the business due to economical crisis and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't while I was doing that business, I was still playing Dota and not with Ad Finem obviously, but I was still trying to play and go competitive. And then we shut the business down, and then I was went for 1 year to study psychology.
Yeah.
And during that, I joined Ad Finem, and I was trying to balance the two, but I was burnt out by the end of the year, and I had to quit the psychology thing, to focus just on Dota, and here I am now.
Your teammates, tell me what's some kind of psychological disorder that one of them has, because I know that they do.
It's a good one. I believe Spartan has schizophrenia.
That's a serious one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. Any reason why?
Because he's just mental, sometimes. You have to be around us when we play, It's just we were playing the official the other day, and he was just saying some random stuff about some funny stuff during the game. I was like, guys, can we please focus on the game? Hello, guys, please.
During the official? What?
Yeah, during the official, he was saying a joke we used to say, but you don't say that stuff during the game.
Right, no.
But it was cool. We were winning. It was the third game versus Ecom where we were stomping them, so it was
Okay, so let's talk more about the major. Who are you guys going up against coming up here?
We're going against Newbie. They're a really good team, so we have to study them and play our top game against them. Chinese teams are a lot different than what you used to play. When you're from Europe and playing events, you don't get to play versus that kind of teams.
And in game, I want to know how you guys' communication works.
You mean who's leading and stuff, or?
Yeah, just how you guys talk in a game, because you're very vocal. You guys are constantly yelling 3, 2, 1, go, kill them all.
Well, yeah, Spartan is mostly leading the game and stuff, but Spartan yells a lot, you know. He doesn't have a medium voice. He just yells a lot, and in order to get above him, like for others to hear you above Spartan, you have to yell as well. So it goes like this. Yeah. And I mean, we all yell except Skylar. Skylar is the low guy. And we're like, please, dude, yell some more. You know, we can't hear you.
Just talk to me about what that's like being a smaller team, now making it here.
It feels satisfying, above all, I believe, because it's really hard to get here, and you have to sacrifice a lot of things in your real life, in your personal life, be it a job, be it college, be it like time with your girlfriend, and you just have to like sacrifice a lot of stuff to do something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, especially in Greece, you can't really explain to your parents or your friends like, I have to sit on my computer and play practice or scrim or play a tournament. It's really difficult. So people don't understand you, and when you actually make it and you're like, okay, I'm going to the major or I'm going to a tournament, and you like others see that this is actually a thing, what you do, it's actually a profession, and you don't just waste your time playing video games. It feels satisfying because it improves overall your relationships, because then they get to understand what it is.
Do you feel like you've made it already, or do you have to place pretty well this event to say that you've made it?
No, this is just the beginning,
All
for
right.
sure.
Fantastic. Well, we will see just the beginning and how far Ad Finem will go in the Boston Major, but all eyes are on them, and ears as well. All right. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you in a little bit.
These interviews are both humbling but also a fantastic way to get to know the players better. That was MNT, or maybe next time. A fantastic moustache and also a fantastic insight into what the Greeks have been up to. It does seem like there's a solid leadership structure. Spartan at the helm of that one. He does seem to be the loud voice in the team, perhaps something to do with his military service. In fact, spending over 9 months in the Special Forces. I did some digging. He's been doing that, comes back, and that's going to maybe help with his leadership.
I would never really expect that, though. Like, looking at the guy and talking to the guy, he is an absolute clown.
So
there's
you're
really
saying
no
he
other
can
way
be
to put it.
sneaky?
Well, he can be sneaky, he can be quiet, but he has the voice, he has the discipline necessary, perhaps, for leadership.
Well, that's actually true. Yeah. I'd have to really look that up, and someone would have to tell me that to believe that.
There could be a parallel. SCC is the same. He's done some compulsory military service as well, and so both of them, perhaps that translates into being a successful and well-disciplined gamer.
I think learning discipline, like, you have to have discipline if you want to compete at the highest level. So in that regard, yeah, sure.
There are a lot of parallels between that, military service, professional sports as well. In fact, I did some more. I'm getting my fun fact in there. Thug is an ex-professional Tier 2 Greek football player.
Football player,
How cool is that?
That is really cool.
He's
really,
very
really
good.
cool.
He's very, very good.
And that, of course, translates, you have that competitive drive to be the best you possibly can be. Definitely, there's a trend between the two.
He's very humble too. He even I would try to bring him up talking about it, and he would just be dead silent about it. So you can Thug's just a very humble guy about even into Dota.
There might also be some you weren't the best. Maybe maybe he had a handicap, or maybe he had an injury that forced him to stop. Maybe that's a painful part of his past, and you just brought it back.
Jesus, Shiver. Maybe not though.
But it is
maybe he was just that good.
It is a recurring trend that you have human beings who are really competitive in a sport. Injury, forced to sit inside and play games, get damn good at video games. It is definitely that. And two people that are damn good at video games is our featured matchup. We head over to support this time. You can have a quick look at the two names on your screen. It is none other than Spartan, the aforementioned Magic Man, and of course Kaka as well, who we had an interview with earlier on today for Newbie.
Look at the average deaths. Oh my god.
The difference is...
It's appropriate, though. Spartan's a very selfless player. He dies for his team a lot. I mean, he doesn't really play with farm. It's usually MNT who takes all the farm. Spartan's just kind of playing the Wisp or something along these lines, making the moves happen, and dying for the cause.
But definitely playmakers. Both are playmakers for the
both
team.
Both are captains of the team too.
Also that. And that Spartan is loud. That even, you hear him in the halls, that's fair enough, but it's even more important when they're in the booths. They're shouting just as loud, and he's a very emotional leader in that regard as well. And I don't think he ever loses that positive mindset when they're in a game. They always feel like they can win. They always fight.
I mean, that's one of a really good trait of a captain. You want to be the last one to give up. Like when everyone has already given up, you still want to be pushing your team. No, we can still do it.
I just wonder how they show this guy if they show this guy a lot of respect in the game, because like we said, he's of clowny, he's kind of trolly, he's loud, but I mean, it has to work for them, right? They've made it here after such a long struggle going through the Boston qualifiers. I know you had a point you wanted to make, Shiver, about
in the Boston
run.
qualifiers, they had a fantastic run, okay? They did amazingly well. Unlike other qualifiers they played in TI qualifiers, they played in the Manila qualifiers, and they were boot camping for those qualifiers. As you know, a serious team, they wanted to boot camp for that. This qualifiers, unfortunately, they weren't able to do that, which happens. So everybody plays in their own circumstances, and in that point, Madara was sick, like incredibly ill.
And not the good kind.
Not the good kind of ill. And he refused to so we heard this afterwards. He refused to tell his team. His team didn't know he was super ill until after they already won. It's like, okay, guys, now I really need to pass out.
It's like, by the way,
That's
I'm on my
so
deathbed.
ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? We keep
crazy.
talking about drive and competitive drive and everything alongside that. Not telling your team you're ill so as not to put them on edge, that's something special from Madara. But let's
Really
get predictions going. Shiva, we're going to work our way back from you. I don't think this is an easy one for you to call. Sometimes you've got a team at the tip of your tongue, not this time.
Not this time for sure. Newbie had a really difficult group. We already talked about that a bit. I want Ad Finem to win. I'm biased for this one. I'm going with Ad Finem. My heart is louder than my head right now.
Like a lion's heart.
Yeah.
What about you, Winter?
I think Newbie has more experience, and I think this matchup is very important for both teams. So there'll be a lot of pressure, and having more experience will be the edge for Newbie.
Giving Newbie the edge, this one from our esteemed colleague Winter. How about you, Fogged?
Oh God, I have to go against my heart.
No.
I love Ad Finem. I love the guys.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, I'm biased toward them a bit, but I still have to go Newbie. I think, just like Winter said, they have more experience. This team is going to just bring it. And the way they looked in group stages, they were pretty damn commanding. While Ad Finem, I felt like I've seen better days for them. So I'm going to have to go Newbie 2-1.
Okay.
Come on, Alex.
Going with your head. I mean, I actually have to give you some respect because it's not often you see analysts not fall for the heart prediction.
I really want to.
I'm proud of you.
Really do. But
I mean, I think I'm just impressed by the fact that Ad Finem talk E-Home to 3 games, OG to 3 games, and the last one I'm forgetting. They replayed at E-Home, right?
Yeah, they did.
So like, that's already testament to how strong they can be. Yeah, go on then. I'll join Shiva. We can hang out. Let's do it. Let's split it. 50-50 on our desk. I'll be going for the Greeks Ad Finem, which we just Googled. What does it mean?
To the end.
To the end. Okay. So they'll maybe hang on. That kind of lives up, doesn't it? You go 3 games every series.
time.
They go to the end.
Wait, did you look it up?
Oh, look at that.
I'm
Twitch
assuming.
is on
I'm
our
pretty sure
side,
that's what it means.
Alex.
I did just Google it.
My PC was in Russian, by the way.
Oh, lucky you.
Fine.
Get your Cyrillic learning. Get
So
learning.
Twitch loves Ad Finem. I think that's after watching that interview. Who couldn't, right?
I like
the interview and the
word
segments.
Yeah, that was good.
They're the very lovable team for sure.
Yeah, they lost in the Summit 5 in July or whatever. They lost, and it was, a 3-game series. Why not? And then they came outside. Bluff Fogged, I believe you were at that event. Spartan just happy as a bird as ever.
They lost, and they literally come out of their room laughing their asses off, just like pointing at Skylark and just saying stuff in Greek at him. I'm assuming they're flaming him in some manner, but they just had such high spirits. Even though they just lost, they go outside and they were like, hey, do you guys need content? You want us to cast? Like, seeing that that kind of composure from a team, even though they lost, is great.
Well, I mean, going up against them, it's not like there's no absence of composure. I think I know I don't want to feel like a broken record, but the SCC kind of presence in Newbie cannot be understated, right?
True.
Absolutely.
I mean, how much was there known of him before he was? I mean, I've heard him described to me by multiple people. They come to me and say, yeah, so SEC. They just grabbed him from 9K MMR, shoved him in this roster, and he's just doing damage. Is that really the TLDR, Winter? I mean, is that there's much more to
He was
SEC.
playing like for the second team of Newbie for some time, so I don't think they actually just grabbed him from the pubs.
I mean, what I heard is that he was in that team for a while, and lots of teams approached them like, we want to snipe SEC, we want him in our roster, and they just kept him, brewed him up, got him all trained up, and then put him into the main roster.
I mean, that's the good thing about having an academy team and a first team. You get to learn from them, and at the same time, the players working around him, you get to know him much better. Sometimes when you look at a pub player, you don't really know his attitude towards the game, and then you get to know when you're at the team house. Because in my opinion, attitude is something that is very important to succeeding.
I think attitude is going to be our biggest kind of discussion, isn't it? I mean, we talk about Ad Finem, we talk about Newbie. Both of them seem to be in the good column of attitude.
Yes, for sure.
And I mean, I think the big one that stood out for me, at least for SCC, was that tournament, and it was MDL, I believe, when he played versus Sumail. That was, at least I watched this guy, and I was just like, He just outlaned Sumail.
Dude,
And Sumail
does not lose his lane. Like,
Sumail does
seriously.
not lose his lane. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this guy is on the radar instantly for me. So
he lost his lane. Oh, Sumail lost his lane to SCC, and that's when everyone suddenly will continue to remember the SCC.
Yeah, Sumail is like probably one of the best mids in terms of just winning the lane matchup, man. If he loses the lane, it says a lot about the opponent.
Yeah. Big dog SCC. We'll get to see him play in just a moment. Looks like players are getting ready for their draft. But first, we'll get a couple of questions from you guys at home. I'll stop, I'll zip my lips, and we'll see what you guys had to say in the question field. It looks like it's going to be Emperor Flagon. He says, potent hero combos you think should be picked but aren't. Now, this is fun considering how much SD Luna we've been seeing. Combos outside of the most common ones. Anything you like? Anything you're a fan of? Hey, you're a Tide Hunter fangirl. Anything you can throw on with him?
No.
No, you tried.
I really like seeing SSIs play it, but it's maybe right now people want to have combinations that are shorter cooldown, like the disruption from the Shadow Demon Luna combination is great. But if you're talking about combinations that are not picked up fairly often, and I would like to see Faceless Void and Skywrath Mage back.
I got so sick of that from
You're
TI4.
so old school.
But no, but I like Skywrath Mage, and I just had to think of a hero that would pair well with Skywrath Mage. Any hero that pairs well with Skywrath Mage, I want to see Skywrath.
Clockwork.
I'm a big Skywrath fan too, so I feel you.
Low cooldown, hook shot, and then you get to nuke people every time.
Okay, I'll go with it. I like it. Clockwork Skywrath Mage.
I convinced her.
Yes. Look at that. Like, I like that we get a whole kind of just forum of discussion.
I thought we'd see some more the Veno Warlock combo. I think we saw I think we saw it twice now, maybe only once, but that's one that's super lethal.
We haven't really seen that much Warlock apart from NP actually. So I thought we were going to see more Warlock altogether.
And Veno. I thought EG was going to grab it when it was every single game in the group stages. Veno's banned first too, and then when it's unbanned, they were like, nah, we're going for different strategies.
And we should clarify what on earth are we looking at? Pasticcio. I feel like I'm missing a meme here. Apparently, someone told me that is a poor man's Pyrian Flax.
Apparently.
That's what he's going for.
He is cosplaying Pyrian Flax, and he is thinking that Pyrian, when he sits here, actually is not wearing pants.
I'm with you now. So Ted is just dressed from
Yeah, because you don't need to be dressed.
You don't.
Because nobody sees it.
No. I have done broadcasts in like boxer shorts before. I'm not the only one, I'm sure.
No,
just
I've never done that.
All right, never mind.
You are right now.
Yes, exactly. Right now, I have whipped out a cheeky knee on more than one occasion.
All right.
You guys are awful, honestly.
So one thing that I think is really interesting for this matchup, and Fogg, you were touching on it earlier. Oh, kiss cam.
Oh, it's
getting hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, Boston's quite cold.
I mean, they're getting ready. They're getting ready for Ad Finem Newbie, right?
Yeah.
How better than to heat up the whole entire area?
It is very exciting to see these two clash. I think I feel like the whole vibe on this desk is anticipating a full 3. No matter, I know we predicted 50-50, but you guys are making it clear to me you're expecting this to go all the way.
And you know what? Even if it doesn't, even for example, if Newbie is like next leveling, Ad Finem will make sure that even if they lose, the games are going to be exciting and hype. There's not going to be a dull moment, I think, in this series. So I'm still thinking it will be a 2-1. But we'll see.
Yeah, me too. I think this series will be very hotly contested. Both teams have been really, really good in the group stages. I think I casted some of the Ad Finem games. I think they were really impressive. They freaking first faced a sniper.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
You told me about this. They won that game. I was like, oh my god.
And then they did it again, right? They did it like the third game after that.
They lost that game.
Okay, but they still did it.
Yeah,
first face sniper.
It was still a close game. We were like, oh my god, our team's actually gonna first face sniper now.
Out of the 4 games that they won, 2 of them were with sniper on top.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on the draft when it does come up. We've got one social question before we do get that draft underway. Players are obviously just brainstorming, getting through their notebooks of how that draft's going to go down. We have Harry, he comes in with honest opinion. Most handsome player at the major.
So I thought
Kappa Pride.
SCCC.
He's
like
cute.
from this matchup comes to mind first because obviously they're on stage right now, so we just saw them.
This is where my biased heart will come out. MNT.
MNT? But you like the facial hair? Facial hair works for you, does it?
I don't know, he's just like, I like talking to him too. He's just a really, really cheery guy. Maybe that's not really most
and
handsome.
MNT are going to skip into the sunset together.
What
Winter,
about you, Winter?
Do you count as a player? Because
I would actually consider Mr. Richardson here.
I'm not a player. Not a player.
Don't suck up to the host. It doesn't work
He's
out.
such a charmer. He's got that charmer, the C charm.
Well, he's another kind of player, you know.
He is a very handsome guy.
And if you were
God, what have we descended
comment
into?
on a man's eyebrows? Those eyebrows are on fleek. Sorry, sorry.
Oh, don't say that word.
I got told
just
we're
said
not
it.
allowed to say fleek anymore.
I didn't get the memo.
Okay.
So
Now you
hereby.
got the memo.
I got the memo.
You get one.
So
Only one.
You get
okay,
one fleek.
Serious answer. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't
Oh,
specify.
they
That's
didn't
true. They didn't say
specify,
which
it's true.
at the tournament or did they say at the tournament?
So at the major.
At the major.
Oh, okay.
You tried.
They didn't say which major.
Yeah, oh, yeah. At the major. Yeah, to be fair, any major.
Any major.
Which we've well, I've been having this debate. I've been saying, just want to clarify, the 4th major.
I would consider TI not a major because if you're going to call TI a major, then you would have to call all TIs a
them.
major.
Then we've had 10.
Yes.
Right, so the reason I'm calling it the 4th is since the major project started,
Yes.
this is the 4th one. In the intro video, we showed you the 3 prior to this, your Frankfurt, your Shanghai, your Manila.
We didn't show TI. There you
Didn't
go.
show TI. And so, in my mind...
Hello.
Oh, can we
We've got
wake him
another
up?
one. Can we wake him up?
Hey, wait, should
Good
we all...
morning.
Okay, guys, everyone in the crowd, on 3, let's make some noise. Let's see if we wake him up. 1, 2, 3. Good morning!
It actually
Good
worked.
morning.
He's having none of it!
Oh.
Hello!
Hello.
He's like, oh.
Hi.
That's me. There we go.
This is so horrible. We should never have done that. That was actually... I feel like I've actually just... This is cyberbullying on a new level.
That was great.
The whole theatre just woke him up, and he's having none of it.
He was stone faced. He's like, this is
He's
how I
just
wake
like,
up every day.
Oh, you guys again.
Just want to watch Dota, you know.
He's waiting for
Yeah.
the draft.
He's waiting for the draft.
And so are we. We
Aren't
are
we
still
all?
waiting to get that one underway. I'll get word on how that's going, but there is much more to be discussed.
Yes. Guesswork. Who's going to be Dire? Both teams love Dire.
Ooh, good question.
And that is unusual because a lot of teams have preferred Radiant over the.
I think
last
mostly the
few years.
Chinese teams prefer Dire. I think
Yeah?
Newbie prefers Dire.
But I think Ad Finem prefers Dire as well.
Ad Finem had 6 out of 9 of their games on Dire. So maybe they just lost lots of coin tosses.
They couldn't be unlucky. This is true.
It could
too.
just be extremely unlucky.
Why would a team choose Radiant over Dire? What's the main difference?
I think the main difference is the mid lane, where it's easier for you to stack the Ancients or farm the side camps is nearer. Like, for example, if you have a hero like Shadowfiend or Naga Siren, you push your lane, you go jungle. It's better to be on Radiant.
But what about the Roshan advantage from Dire?
It really depends on what hero you want. Like, if obviously if you want to build a draft around like a Ursa draft, you want to be on Dire.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want to play. But I think that certain teams don't really care. They just prefer to be on that side of the map.
Newbie played a lot of Drow Ranger in the group stages too, so that's like leaning more toward the Dire side in a way.
Explain your answer.
Why is that leaning towards the Dire side?
Well,
Rosh,
it just
yeah.
Rosh.
You want to
okay.
Drow Ranger, you group up.
That's the Rosh.
You get like 1 or 2 towers. You obviously want to pressure the enemy safe lane. If you get that safe lane tower, you have really easy access toward it without heavy congestion.
I've learned
It's
KP
draft time.
prefers the Dire side because Bounty Hunter. We didn't even talk about this, so maybe next time. At some point there was
One
like
of the best.
this phase where everybody picked Bounty Hunter, and that was because of this guy. Because of maybe next time, he is, at least in Europe, the best bounty hunter in the early stages of the game, and I know I put a lot of pressure on him right now, but
It's not just a phase, Mom.
it's not just a phase. And then at some point, everybody started banning bounty hunter, and then they actually started picking up Ricky instead, and everybody copied that as well because it had such a big effect.
This hero is
But-
very tricky though. Like
Yes.
if you pick him in a situation where he can't get kills or he can't get stuff done in the early game, he doesn't offer a lot to your team. You know, he is that hero that when you pick him, you need to keep fighting. You need to have like a specific play style around the bounty hunter.
They love the Darkseer with it. Okay, as I'm saying it, they pick it. I was gonna say they really heavily like to emphasize pressuring the short lane. Skylark, when they tend to leave him on his own, he does struggle. I was gonna even mention that beforehand. That's kind of the difference between KP and Skylark is KP kind of tends to, when he's alone, he sometimes doesn't struggle as much as Skylark. So I like to see this approach already though by Ad Finem, just sticking to their guns, not really worrying about what Newbie will do.
So the downside of Ad Finem also being slightly predictable in that is that you see Newbie's bans, they ban out the Slark and they ban out the Sniper, and those are the heroes that Madeira and Thug love to play, so it feels like at least this first game both teams are just going to play what they're most comfortable with and then see if that works.
I think Ad Finem, especially like knowing them, I think a really big pickup for me just standing out, even though we haven't seen it much, is the Ursa. Because it's very good versus the Juggernaut, and it's just, they really like it with Darkseer and with Bounty Hunter, since you get the mobility from track, you get the Iron Shell, it's the kind of things that just enable him to have a better game.
Yeah, those two are really good partners for the Ursa. And it just allows you to play that kind of bounty hunter game. You don't want to stop. You want to keep fighting, get kills, get trade kills even. really good against the Juggernaut, like you say, even in the laning phase.
That's something that they, at least they very highly like to do and emphasize on in their draft.
So Rubik Juggernaut start for Newbie, what does that mean?
It's just a very all-rounded draft. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that opening. You have very good lanes. You have pretty good team fight with Omni Slash. Just in general, you want to be flexible. Like I say this time and time again, you open your draft, you want to make sure that you are very open-ended to different kinds of strats. You adjust. And we talked about Newbie. They are a team that likes to change depending on what the opponent is doing.
I think this time they didn't really change too much, though. I think this is a super stable Newbie. Like Rubik Sanking was super contested in China. They actually tend to pick it in the first two, but the Juggernaut as well. This is like their first 3 opener that I think I see most commonly from Newbie. But it's also very good versus Ad Finem's heroes that they do have already, because they do have some push coming out of the Juggernaut, natural push, and then they have heavy team fight already coming out with the Sanking Rubik.
Yep. The thing about the bounty hunter pick is like you want to roam. You don't want to stay in a lane, and if that happens, it means that your safe lane, there's only going to be 2 heroes, and Sanking is the kind of hero that if you put him in the right situation to pressure the enemy safe lane, he can cause all sorts of problems. So he might actually force the bounty to stay bot, which is not something you want. When you pick bounty, you want to roam.
Or start bottom, and then he makes the moves, because that's some people just like to, they guarantee their safe lane. Then
that really depends on who's the partner with the Sanking. If the Sanking has a really good partner like an Undying, then things could get rough. Your bounty is not going to be able to do much against that.
But Ad Finem has all the time in the world to prepare for that, as they see the Sanking and they know exactly what's going to happen with that.
Yep, that's why they're taking some time here. It's very crucial for them to decide, oh, this might be a pressure lane, so we need to have a good lane to deal with it.
So yeah, I was going to say they're probably deciding on if they do want to show Madara's hero just yet or just prep with Spartans. They do go for Spartans with the Bane. Just a very strong frontline, or strong laning hero.
Yeah, and it's good against the Juggernaut. You have the Fiend Script to stop the spin TP. So that's all in all a really, really good hero to deal with what Newbie has right now.
While on the other side, looking at the opposite factor, Newbie's heroes actually do quite well versus Bane as well. Sanking easily able to stop the Fiend's Grip, and Rubik has the easiest steal in the world to grab the Fiend's Grip. So Rubik right now has some cool steals, with the Bane spells, and if he's able to get track.
But he does struggle against bounty in the early stages.
Yes.
That's the only downside about the Rubik in this game.
Absolutely.
So that's all going to rely on how the laning phase plays out, what's going to happen, how is Ad Finem going to do the lanes, are they going to just leave the bounty at top with the Darks here?
I love having you two on the draft panel, just because it does feel like you've got in A Beautiful Mind, when all the numbers are just swooping around his face and it's just like trying to piece it together in a puzzle.
Thanks.
That's what I feel like.
Did you call us smart? I think you just called us smart.
He called you guys smart.
That's what it feels like to
me. You see, it paid off. I called him good looking before, and now it pays off.
That's right.
I didn't say anything though, so I'll just make fun of you some more.
Sure, how about me and you play chess and the winner plays Winter? How's that?
I'm awful at chess, so I will pass.
Oh damn. Oh, welcome back, OD. It's been a while.
This hero like fell out of existence.
Where did you go?
So they reveal SCCC's hero first, meaning that Ad Finem has some time to think about what to face up against that.
Basically, OD does pretty good against most of the heroes. If you want to really win the lane against OD, you need like a Razor. You need something very, very particular to win the lane. You pick the hero to win the lane.
This is a bit different from what at least I would expect from Ad Finem. I guess there's just Ursa's kind of like a hero that's fallen off completely, but it's one that I know that they love. But they also want to be able to, they want to be able to have that strength in their lane, since they want the bounty hunter not to be down there. So picking the Luna kind of indicates that to me, and also having that later scaling potential, and also an objective taker and a building hitter, which is the Luna, which helps your draft. And with the Darkseer mech, it's like more team fight.
Hey guys, where's Batrider?
The other thing about the Luna pick is like it gives you like your support much better time because of the aura. So teams have been really focusing about just getting that hero for a better laning phase.
It's interesting to me that you mentioned Batrider.
Oh, by the way, the Razor is gone, so no Razor against OD.
And Sniper's banned out earlier as well.
And Earth Spirit. Awesome. Sorry.
It's okay. They were cool.
They were cool. So we're missing for Newbie KP's hero, right?
Yep.
He's played a lot of Batrider.
It might be the Sanking.
Sanking is still open.
Yes.
They could technically still do the support Sanking and another offering. But right now for Ad Finem, that's one of Kaka's favorite hero, and they have OD. So Konka has a lot of synergy with Newbie's lineup. One good ban there for Ad Finem.
I want Ad Finem to have more scaling potential with another mid laner.
scaling, like you want more like another core, like
yeah,
like
another stronger core.
But then if you do that, you might have to sacrifice your lane. Like what kind of hero are you looking for? You need to do well against OD at the same time. You can't just have a bad matchup against OD. Like not many heroes can fulfill that criteria.
There's not many left. I mean, the ones that Ad Finem really like are like the Puck. It doesn't do that great. It's a hero that's fallen completely out of favor. It's not the best for OD.
But do you just pick the hero just because it's good for your lineup and just sacrifice the laning phase here? Now that's the important question. What do you choose for? Do you value the laning phase more, or do you value what works for your team more?
It's like Invoker and Puck are the two that stand out for me for Ad Finem right now. But oh, actually, okay, that's a pretty good matchup versus the OD as well, and it's actually one of Thug's hero.
It's okay, but I think OD still does really well in that matchup. But it's very good with the bounty. Like the way they want to approach the game is.
KP Omni Knight it is, so it is a support Sand King.
That lane is still like Omni Knight Sand King. That lane is super scary if they do that lane. Right, Ad Finem's dual lane is not very well equipped to deal with that.
I think there's a lot of pressure on maybe next time with his bounty hunter.
I think so too. I think he needs to get a lot done, and then they need to take very scrappy mid-game fights away from the Omni Knight.
Okay, so all eyes on MNT.
MNT.
Yep. One team wants to 5-man, the other team wants to pick a kill here and there.
I mean, it was first draft, right? Literally bounty hunter throwing down the gauntlet. Ad Finem are going to go ahead and try and start with a bang. They have made their selections, and the drafters have our desk a little apprehensive. Perhaps our casters are going to be more enjoying or more welcoming of the Greeks' choices. We're going to go ahead and head over to them as Capitalist and Malini to cast through this series. It is going to be a big one.
Well, I don't know about their drafts, but I know the audience sitting behind me is more than welcoming of both of these teams. A lot of fans behind us, as you can see. Ad Finem, group stage was a rough one, wasn't it, Merlini?
They had a rough group.
Yeah, they were one game away from first, one game away from second, end up third, and then we go into the main stage and they're matched up against one of those top 5 teams that we talked about before the tournament started in Newbie. This is going to be a very real test for both of these teams, right? Because Newbie, they definitely have had a little bit lesser of a showing than probably they wanted. They wanted to be able to come out with a bang and be able to show Virtus Pro what's up, but unfortunately they ended up in second and now have to face up against probably one of the tougher of the European teams.
At least they gave us a very memorable game versus Virtus Pro. That was quite the showing. And in this game, we think they're slightly underhanded because of the last pick, Omni Knight. How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling like even before the Omni Knight, I wasn't too sure. I'm not a big fan of early Bounty Hunter picks. And yes, maybe next time's Bounty Hunter may be legendary, but I'm still not sure if they're going to be able to make it work because it looks like Newbie, they just naturally have some lanes that are going to be tough to be able to gank, and they also have very strong team fight. I don't feel like we're really going to see that Bounty Hunter momentum this game.
Well, maybe next time. Already gathering a lot of intel behind the T1 tower in the mid, getting some insight into the lane setup. Doesn't look like any... there does actually look to be a lane swap. Madara will be heading top with the rest of the Ad Finem supports.
Yeah, trying to get away from this aggressive situation that is coming out from Newbie. So they're running the Rubik, Sand King, and a Juggernaut. That is a fearsome kill lane. Leading with the telekinesis, follow-up stun coming out from that Burrow Strike, and then all that spin damage. Hard to see how Luna would be able to effectively farm against that. So they're going to switch things up, but Newbie, I'm sure, aren't going to be too scared of leaving a Juggernaut at bottom lane. These two supports of Newbies, both Faith and Kaka, I think can pair up.
He's running into a Sentry Ward right now. He is spotted, but Juggernaut is nowhere close. They might get some good damage on him in the meantime.
Oh, no way. He's hiding right in the trees. He's going to have to pop out with the Tango, but it looks like he's going to be run down. Burrow Strike is there. It doesn't even look like they're going to have to blow the spin. That'll be the first blood. U9 will get himself not only a free lane, but he'll also get the coveted first blood.
So it looks like Ad Finem have already sent the Darkseer off to the jungle. He was prepared to Iron Talon from the start. He's actually cut a pathway in the trees to make his time a little bit easier. And the question is, what is a Bounty Hunter going to do? Is he going to try and play as an offlaner and soak up the free experience on the bottom lane so they don't push a tower, or try and harass the other lanes?
Well, I'm not sure if he's really going to be able to have too much of an effect at mid. Templar Assassin, I feel like it's just not going to be a hero that will take advantage of that. Maybe later on, though, he can couple with the Darkseer jungling, and they can do some potential Ion Shell harassment. Feels like right now it's perhaps better for him to try his luck as a pseudo offlaner here against the Newbie aggressive tri-lane.
Especially with the Bane on top. Bane was harassing out Omni very effectively.
Doesn't seem to keep KP completely out of experience right now. You can see the duo pairing up to push KP back as much as possible, but he's already level 2.5. Our Bounty Hunter, after being caught like that, still not level 2 himself.
They do have another dust on the Sand King. No scan available for them yet to get a clear sign of where maybe next time is. He's just hiding in the trees. That's a very difficult place to gank, especially if you drop the sentry ward like closer behind tower. There's almost no way that they can find him. Maybe they can tell by pulling down the scoreboard and seeing that he's level 2 right now, because there's not really any other place that he'd get level 2. Maybe,
yeah,
I guess like if he leeches off Skylark, but that's very unlikely.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to be taking too much time away from that Darkseer. I love Newbies, just like they are wasting very little time here. Maybe next time thought about it. It almost seemed like Newbie were kind of baiting him out a little bit too. Maybe next time will not fall for that though.
Oh, they dropped the sentry.
They dropped the counter ward though, and they are going to be able to find maybe next time. Burrow Strike is coming up. He's barely out of range. They're going to be able to get the dust, and there's the Burrow Strike finally. Follow-up telekinesis, and it's been a second death for maybe next time. Newbie are wasting no time whatsoever. They set up clear dominance in the lanes here. They use their aggressive Chai lane to bully down the tower as efficiently as possible, even spinning down waves to make it happen quickly. And they've already picked up the first 2 kills of the game.
Bottom lane is all theirs as Sand King proceeds to pull. So this is even more problematic as more and more farm goes Newbie's way.
And this has got to go back to the bit of the problems, right, with that first pick, Bounty Hunter. Newbie being able to just set up very strong lanes for themselves leaves the Bounty Hunter very little avenues to have an impact.
He's still level 3, so it's not the worst thing in the world. KP, by comparison, is level 3.5. But, of course, the 2 deaths and the tower and the first blood all go to Newbie.
Yeah, Juggernaut's going to have quite the fun time with that bit of extra gold. Thung's going to be able to play off of some jungle efficiency as well, thanks to being on Radiant side, one of the advantages of being the Templar Assassin here. We've seen the same thing out of Lycan. Skylark in some trouble, though. It's going to be telekinesis right as he surges up, trying to outrun that spin and now outrun Faith. It looks like he is one step ahead for now. Faith has 335 movement speed, will be able to catch him in the end. A third kill in 4 minutes for Newbie as Ad Finem struggle to get themselves on the board.
And they're blind on that part of the map. Just a minute ago, TA, or presumably someone that was close around the mid lane, had scanned directly to the right side of the T1 tower. They just have no idea where these 2 supports are, and any hero that's down there could...
This is rough. Kaka's got an Invis rune, and they have a hasted SC coming in from behind. They have no idea what's about to hit them. KP is playing the bait, and all of a sudden the pop out. Sand King comes in, manages to get a lot of damage onto Monera. SC is going to be able to finish him off, and the rest of Newbie try and track down Spartan, who's going to be leading a creep of trees. All right, going to be able to drop it off with the neutrals. Nice play with Spartan, and he'll try and hide himself away somewhere here, but he does not have the mana for a TP. Meanwhile, bottom lane, U9 was being gone on by the combo of Darkseer, Bounty Hunter. Back over to Spartan. He'll finally be spotted out by SC on his way back to the mid lane. Spartan, my friend, no mana whatsoever. A Burrow Strike awaiting him. A death is seemingly inevitable. What the hell? Spartan, he's making his way out of this one. He still needs 25 mana for a TP, but he's saying this is all worth it. He's going to be able to buy another pair of wards, juking around, trying to buy as much time as possible before his inevitable death, but it will come at the 5-minute mark. So SC will be the one to pick it up.
Still some fancy moves from him. Bought himself a good 20, 30 seconds for his team. They need some more stacks on the Radiant side. I think waiting for 10 minutes and getting that Tome of Experience is just going to be way too late. I think they need to get some more farm in the meantime. So he uses a single tree to juke Kaka.
Juke Kaka out. Completely whiffs the Burrow Strike. And that's good. Oh, you gotta love Ad Finem for things like that. Even on the losing side of a laning phase, they still find a way to have fun.
They're so jolly. It's great. I love seeing that reaction from him.
And they're going to need those high spirits, that's for sure. It's not looking great on the net worth chart. 2,500 gold lead right now for Newbie.
This is where you tell your team, we have track. We have track.
We have the comeback. We have the comeback mechanism ready to go. We just need the levels for now.
Yeah, I'm more worried about them being able to deal with the Omni Knight later, but they can worry about that as the time comes. First things first, they need to get some levels, they need to get a little bit more farm, they need to get track, and they need to get kills. But I would really like to see them stack Ancients, take it out very easily with a TA, they can get some level 6 without the use of the Tome.
Oh, are they going to be able to get here in time? They lead off with the Imprisonment, but Thug, the 2 supports of Kaka and Faith just weren't quite in position to be able to set up. Spartan was sitting behind Thug, ready to pop out at a moment's notice as well. So the duo is going to start heading their way up to top lane. see if they can catch out Skylark, who's already had a bit of damage taken. Oh, never mind. They're actually going to turn things right back around. Instead of going top, they smoke up, start making their way bottom, where Madara is attempting to solo up against the Juggernaut and claim his level 6.
He doesn't have enough mana for Omni Slash, but he does have enough for spin, and with the double disable from the Dire side, should be easy kill. Madara just dodges the scan. He's right outside that radius.
And these two supports may feel like the better option is to run straight down, see if they can get the smoke pop. Maybe Kaka can get it. It's right at the end of his smoke, but it does pop on Madara, and not due to time, but he may not realize that. And it looks like Madara might just be able to get away here. Oh, man. Faith? He's not going for it either, is he? Yeah, he's going for a TP scroll. All right. Madara is not doing much in these trees, but at least he's not dying.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where you're looking at the map, not at your like buff icon. So it expired, you know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds before, so he wasn't completely sure that it popped from a hero rather than duration.
Skylark is level 7. He's actually pretty far up there in the net worth chart. Well, relatively speaking. He's keeping pace with KP at least. Him in maybe next time, trying to make goes occasionally on KP, but it's just not really working. Our supports are going to combine up with Newbie's U9 as they make their way deeper into the jungle, cutting off some of Thug's farming areas. Not able to find him for a kill, it seems, but at least they can kind of close off Ad Finem. This whole entire jungle area just seems to be kind of owned by Newbie. And they might just be able to keep up that pressure and take the tier 1 tower as well.
And now they'll scout the Ancient stack. They'll see that it's a tri-stack, but they can't do anything about it. They don't have the heroes to clear. Maybe once Juggernaut gets Battle Fury, or if all 5 heroes are there and some Ad Finem are dead, they can do it. But right now, no. Templar Assassin also doesn't really have any TA traps set up that could probably help if they were scared. But 2 Ad Finem heroes smoked up behind. Eclipse is ready with level 4 Lucent Beam.
There's a lot of creeps, though. They're trying to get that position to come in from behind so they won't have to worry as much about the creeps, but it seems like they're not going to try and force this fight before the tier 1 tower goes down. They're going to wait for one of the heroes to maybe move to the right-hand side, but Newbie have already moved up. I think they pinged out that tier 1 tower at top lane, systematically working their way through Ad Finem's outer towers.
Gold lead, 4,000 gold for Newbie. A little bit problematic, but all it takes is a little bit of carelessness and a couple of track kills, and they'll be right back in. They still need grips. Newbie also has really good ward setup, at least closer to the river.
Yeah, and they also still need that 10-minute mark to come in so they can give the tome to maybe next time, so they can actually get that track in the first place. Looks like they're going to be giving up this tower. Ad Finem are making no maneuvers to contest.
They want to slow
just
down.
Wants the extra time.
So I think maybe next time wants to slow down Kaka's blink. That's really important for them. They don't really have good initiation aside from that. Like OD Astral. I mean, he doesn't have a 4-staff. He went for Midas first.
Shuriken comes out, trying to get that sleep, not going to be able to come off, and they just don't have the levels to be able to nuke down the Sand King at this point. The rest of Newbie will take that tier 1.
So now 10 minutes hits. I see the tome immediately purchased by Bounty Hunter. It could be go time pretty soon. They're only lacking really the Bane Fiend's grip, but generally with Eclipse you should be able to get at least 1, if not 2 kills, but they have to be especially careful versus the Omni Knight.
Look at that. The way that they just quickly clear through waves. The spin and Fade Bolt being used by Faith. Newbie are pushing out all the lanes, getting a lot of information about Ad Finem's heroes, their positioning, and even their progression in items and levels. So it is a bit wanting right now. Ad Finem are good in experience, I should say. But quite the gold lead for Newbie so far, thanks to all these towers.
They're actually in the lead for experience by a good 2,500. This is because the 2 supports have been hooked up the entire time. Like Rubik and Sand King, for at least the first like 6-7 minutes of the game, they were just being together.
Jump
the whole
on to
entire
Madara. He's going to need some help. Kaka is trying to get himself away. Doesn't have the Burrow Strike up in time. That's going to be the first track kill of the game. Maybe next time, posts up very nicely. We'll be able to get another track onto Faith, giving Madara the space to be able to stay ahead of at least one of these heroes. But SC, he's moving a whole lot quicker thanks to that Haste Rune. He'll be able to get the jump here onto Madara.
No chance with a Brain Zap. Brain Zap plus Fade Bolt is like almost 600 damage.
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about Rubik in this game, right? He's got free, easy steals against Spartan. All 3 of those abilities, Sleep, Brain Zap, as well as Fiend's Grip, pretty value for that hero.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth picking up one level of Enfeeble just to mess with the Rubik a little bit, make you think twice about stealing a spell from the Bane. And Luna, generally very fast hero, but that's because SCCC had a haste rune, was able to chase him down.
They're going to be able to surge up. Spartan, he tries to catch 9, but he doesn't quite get him. Juggernaut runs into the neutrals just at the right time, and that may spoil something very big. Ad Finem, we're looking forward to be able to get a Fiend's Grip kill.
Smoke. They smoked just to the northwest of their T1 tower, and it was on the high ground, and they're looking out for the juicy Luna, but it is tough. She has night vision, so this is why they do need to smoke.
Madara does seem to, both him and U9 are staying one step ahead of these attempted smoke ganks from the opposing team. Uh-oh, never mind. He's actually going to go to the neutral camp, and Newbie, their smoke is broken, but they are not going to be able to close that distance in time.
That's a very safe and smart play from Madara.
Yeah.
Even if you have Lance, like right-clicking it to aggro that is a little bit risky, but because he knows that so many heroes of Newbie are missing, he pulls a creep with a Illusion Beam. If they dive him at the T2, they don't know who's over there. They only have vision around that camp. But they see him go back down bottom.
They do have the mech now for Ad Finem, and that is another big boost in their team fighting capabilities. They're going to need it too. Madara puts himself deep in the trees here, but he TP's out, so they are just avoiding Newbie, it seems. Despite having these big, big cooldown ultimates like Eclipse, like Wall, and even the fresh mech pickup, they still don't feel comfortable contesting Newbie for any of these towers.
The Omni Knight is way too strong right now. They don't really have any AoE disabled. They don't have any blinkers to get to them to the back line. And if they're S5 right now, how do you stop like a counter initiation with heal and then repel and then GA? There's no counterplay to that. There's no diffusal blade. You need like a blink Deso TA to actually start putting pressure on heroes so that they might get one shot from meld or 2 strikes, which just makes the positioning from the Omni Knight very, very difficult. So no TA trap inside the pit. They have to be a little bit worried about them taking down Roche right now. It won't be that fast because there is not really that much int yet on the OD, but with Intreads and with the sustain,
just
OD,
the full 5-man of Newbie,
they might concede a T2.
It does kind of seem like the way that Ad Finem have been playing, they've been dodging Newbie for this whole entire time. It would be pretty understandable if they actually knew Roshan was going on right now and they just hope to be able to take this tier 2 as an exchange. In fact, I think I would be pretty happy if I was Ad Finem getting that boost of gold. All they have to do at that point in time is make sure that Newbie do not actually claim any high ground advantage with their Aegis. They're going to smoke up and mass TP here, some to the tier 3 tower. One of them is going to be leading off in tier 2. That's going to be SC. He managed to catch the Templar Assassin, and Ad Finem are going to be forced into a fight here. Thug needs some help. He turns around, gets a good amount of damage onto SC. They also throw the wall down, but it gets a heal and a repel. Kaka makes a nice initiation, but they manage to get the Fiend's Grip, but Faith immediately puts a stop to that one with telekinesis. SC, he drops the hammer, but can't finish anybody off. It looks like Thug may be caught here, but he adds the refraction, quickly burning through that one. He's going to be forced back. Maybe next time will help cover his tracks on the background. Faith barely stays alive. It's going to be Ad Finem's Bane who goes down instead, but they managed to get the Juggernaut, making it all worth it for Ad Finem.
Yeah, that was actually great for them. Taking down the Juggernaut, they dealt with the Outworld Devourer very, very well. They slept him at the start, and then they almost had a full duration Fiend's Grip onto him, combined with the Eclipse. So they're positioning on the left side inside the trees. Like, look at where Spartan is from the Bane. That's very hard to interrupt the Fiend's Grip, and Faith does his best. He steals the Fiend's Grip, but with the Eclipse coming out, the wall is also just placed in a position where it's very difficult for Newbie to fight.
And KP just came in a little bit too late with that Guardian Angel. The Juggernaut put himself forward against Thug like that, and that quick burst damage, that physical damage coming in from the meld, clearly took him by surprise, as well as KP. And that is really what turns into a lost team fight there for Newbie, trading a core in exchange for support. They do barely keep that tier 2 tower alive. It is in deny range, but they're not going to take that time just yet. They also have a lingering advantage here for the next fight, potentially. Faith does have the Fiend's Grip ready to go.
Still, they need a Blink Dagger on Sand King. That's the one that's 500 gold away from them. Sand King's much more difficult to play when there's a bounty hunter in the game. You can't rely on just disjointing stuff with a Sandstorm very, very often. And he can also stop you from split pushing the side lanes very easily.
It seems like Ad Finem, despite not having a Diffusal Blade, like an early Diffusal Blade hero, they do seem to know how to play around this Omni Knight pretty well. That was an impressive display at that top lane of the way they kind of kited back and forth and covered each other's tracks to make sure they didn't all-in commit for a team fight that quickly gets turned around by a simple heal and Guardian Angel play from KP. So
yes, they want Newbie to go on the offensive. If you go on the offensive, oftentimes you have to pre-repel or you have to sacrifice your Omni Knight's positioning. It's generally one or the other. If you're playing defensively and you wait for the other team to come to you, Omni Knight just hides in the fog and then you just cast your spells, no problem, reactively. But yeah, when you have to run into them, it's harder.
But surely there's only so much team play that can be done by Ad Finem, right? Like, do you think they actually need a Diffusal Blade out of this team? And if so, who's actually going to be picking it up? All right.
I'd say probably the TA at some point. Sometimes you'll see TAs get it just in response to Ghost Scepters.
Barely making it out. Maybe next time. Clean escape.
Yeah, I like the way that he's playing, though. He leached a lot of XP. Yeah, he died twice and he lost his tower, but there's not really that much else he can do. It was just a little bit unfortunate that he did take a spill twice.
Faith just used his Fiend's Grip because he's about to run out of that spell steal on a big creep, but he may not be anticipating running into some members of Ad Finem here. Spartan and Madara have grouped up as a nice duo with the Eclipse. They could easily bring down any one or two heroes that they run into, but they don't find anybody here as we... Spartan, come on, give me something. Oh, yeah.
He always has something
He's
to
pumped.
say. And Ad Finem almost hit the timing right before the Sand King's Blink Dagger. That's what they were trying to aim for. They really slowed him down with that one track kill. The only track kill. The only kill that they've gotten.
Yeah.
Or only track kill, I think. But they just missed it. Sand King had just walked back home, so their smoke was to no avail.
Hello? Blink Dagger? All right, we've got it now.
Yep. He just got it.
Kaka will pick up his Blink from the ground. Him and KP both have some form of initiation. KP can, I think now that Newbie, when they're playing aggressive, they can rely on KP a little bit more now that he's got that mobility. They really want to be able to interrupt any ancient farming here, but just got cleaned up by Thug before they can really make their move.
And Radiant has used scans, so they definitely expect a smoke. They're just not sure from which angle. But now that OD shows in the mid lane, it's pretty much, they can guess with almost certainty where the rest of Newbie are. So just a minute left on the Aegis. Newbie set up 2 new Observer Wards, one right outside the T2 in the mid lane and one close to the Ancients, so they can hopefully catch an unsuspecting Templar Assassin. So Templar Assassin picked up a Blink Dagger. Next item looks like it will be an Ogre Club for the BKB. She needs it.
So they make that kind of push, and they set up nice aggressive wards, but what's Newbie's game plan for the next 1 or 2 minutes around those wards? Do you think they're going to go for another push, or are they waiting for another smoke opportunity?
They definitely still want team fights. Like any sort of team fight that they can get, I think they should be aiming for, as long as it's not under a tower from Ad Finem. That just gives them way too much of a positional advantage to win the team fight. But they need the Sand King to just hit a big epicenter. There's no BKBs up there yet. Like Luna's still in that very early phase, although I say early and she has a ton of HP. She has a lot of strength. She has 1500 HP, but it's still, I'd say, relatively easy for them to burst him down, especially with the OD being fairly massive. He's kind of uncontested in his sort of farm. But I think at some point they have to deal with the TA. Like TA is getting kind of big, and I think Omni Knight is like pretty decent, but Purification Heal only does so much if your cores don't have that much armor. And Juggernaut is kind of already itemized against the TA. Manta, like, it makes it very difficult for TA to actually hit the real target, get rid of the minus armor, and you can also turn around and hit the TA for many instances to get rid of the refraction. And then the OD, he went for second item plate mail after Force Staff. So they're very aware that the Luna is going to be an issue. Or sorry, the TA is going to be an issue in terms of damage.
If you didn't see what just happened at bottom lane, this is why you pick up a Bounty Hunter right here. Bounty Hunter lays some nice aggressive vision that manages to spot out all of Newbie's rotations to defend that tier 1 tower, buying Ad Finem essentially a push that forces Newbie to rotate around, and then they just move to the opposite side of the map with full confidence. Look at them, they're just pushing out. They're rather spread. They're just trying to efficiently farm the map while they know Newbie are all climbed up towards the south.
This is the big benefit of the Bounty Hunter. Some people might be like, oh man, Bounty Hunter first phase, are you crazy? But the way that he's playing it is like a Riki.
Yeah.
So that's the way that they can just swap gears. Okay, if they have better team fight than us and they always 5-man, I'll just play the vision game and pretty much never use track. They've gotten 2 kills this game, and you might think that's a worthless pick, but I think the way he's playing it, they're not really counting on track at all to win the game. They're just being super annoying with the bounty hunter and just wasting time, creating space, waiting for BKBs, waiting for more items, waiting for defusal.
Yeah, maybe next time was actually in a position, multiple times he's been in position to both get aggressive wards and also try and break smokes to cover his 2 rather farm-heavy cores, because these were 2 cores that were looking rather weak around 12 minutes, right? When Newbie are grouping up and they're taking so many towers, you look at both the Templar Assassin and the Luna, you say, hey, they're mid-game team-fighting heroes, but they definitely need their core items before they're ready to go. TA needs at least that Deso, if not Blink, as well as BKB, and the same kind of applies to Luna with the Manta. You need to be able to have some serious stat gain in order to really contest with this hero. It looks like Madara's not actually going to be going for the Manta next. He's going for the earlier BKB, it looks like, with the Mithril.
They might want to fight right around the second Roshan respawn, because TA is almost done. She just has her BKB, so Blink, Deso, BKB, that's good enough for now. You can work on whatever item you want next, Crystallis, Daedalus, or Diffusal Blade, but it depends on how long the Roche spawn timer is. They did just place a sentry ward right outside the Roche pit, which did deward the trap, so neither team will be aware that Roshan is just about to respawn in about 5 seconds time.
Do you think Majaro's trying to match one of his peaks with essentially the Templar Assassin's very large peak that she comes in timing? Thug is going to be caught here in the top lane in some serious trouble. He does have the Refraction, Blink, and BKB all up, so he might be able to get out of this unless they combo stun him up. He's going to try and TP out. It looks like he should be okay. It's close, but the physical damage just isn't quite enough. Unfortunately, KP just a quarter of a second too late to hit that Burrow Strike as the BKB goes off first for Thug.
Whew, that was so close. But I think you are right with them trying to match. You want your 2 cores to be on the same page. You want to be able to fight at the same time. You want to be farming at the same time. If they just play as 4 in the team fight, they're going to get crushed, because Newbie's almost always together as 5. And now looks like Newbie will start heading close to the Roshan pit. Juggernaut has a defusal of his own. And let's see, they scout out Roche, but not interested in taking it quite yet. I don't think they're strong enough to win a team fight, but only just barely, and I don't think it's worth it for them to pick up a gem just yet, just because a TA could easily 2-shot one of their supports, especially the Rubik.
I don't know. I think it might be time for a gem. I mean, look how many counter wards they've laid down as Newbie, because they know their movements are being read. The problem is, it's a bounty hunter. He's placing wards that you are not used to actually having to contest. A ward between tier 1, tier 2 bottom. A ward that's already inside your base, up at the top lane. It seems Ad Finem, Newbie know this. They knew all their movements. Oh, it's gonna. Oh, what? Maybe next time. No. All right, Courier. It'll get a pass this time around, but will Newbie get a pass on this Roshan attempt? It seems like Ad Finem no, and they are quickly moving into the Roshan pit with this smoke.
And Darkseer has a Blink Dagger.
They're going to blink forward, Burrow Strike already onto Thug. That's going to stop that big entrance, and the wall vacuum just becomes an impossible situation. Newbie are just going to push forward without it as they miss the vacuum combo, and there it goes. SC moves forward big time, managed to take out the Luna, the second core of this fight, who's already down Thug in the backlines, does manage to kill at least the Rubik, but now he no longer has his BKB. The Diffusal Blade's going to be able to slow him down. Blinks over the side, but now KP will keep pace with him. Unfortunately, they are lacking any counter vision, so Thug can bide his time another 4 seconds. He will have a Blink up as well as a Refraction. Are they really going to try and chase him down? Sand King's on his way. There goes the Blink, but they're going to be able to keep up with Thug. He's going to go for the TP out. The Imprison is not going to be there in time. SC as well as Kaka were on their way. Ad Finem, though, that was just the fact that they got away with Thug was a bare minimum that had to happen. That was a disastrous fight.
And Skylark went for the super high-risk play. He went for the blind Blink Vacuum. He only got a wall on 1 person. He was hoping for at least a 3-person vacuum wall, but instead, SECC was already repelled, so he wouldn't have been hit. And then Madara, you can see, he doesn't have BKB. He just gets destroyed.
Yeah, they still have yet to be able to finish up that item. He just needed a little bit more gold. And they could have had that big team fight pickup, and maybe Skylark wouldn't have felt as compelled to make such a high-risk play if they had that reliable magic immunity for the Luna.
They still could have lost way more heroes. They didn't lose the TA, and Bane also had a nice sleep close to the secret shop that kept the OD from stopping his TP. So I think they're lucky to only lose Roche.
Yeah, absolutely.
What, 1 or 2 heroes?
Quick update on the net worth. Newbie are holding 2,500, and that experience lead that Ad Finem have had by efficiently farming out the map this whole entire time, that is finally in Newbie's favor instead.
And going back to the discussion of the gem, like the gem is, it's great in the fact that yeah, there are 5-manning and it would own all the TA traps, but at the same time it makes you more compelled to 5-man, and they're not like winning out hugely in terms of farm. So I think if they get a gem, they'd be like, okay, we can only 5-man from now on because our supports can still die because their cores are very farmed. Bounty Hunter could be anywhere on the map, and TA could be right behind them. Like even if you had the gem, you might not be able to watch the Bounty Hunter watching you because of the gem radius is much smaller than his daytime vision.
Ad Finem trying to get a catch as they knew that some of the Newbie members were actually rotating up to the top lane. Kaka is kind of leading the charge there. See if he could pick off Thug, who's always keeping pressure on one of these side lanes to make sure that Newbie don't have a free pass to just march down the mid lane.
And Thug has gone for the Chrysalis build, and the Diffusal, as has been mentioned earlier, it might not be the best choice because if you look at Omni Knight's items, he has an Ultimate Orb. Ultimate Orb on Omni Knight usually means a Lincoln Sphere. So Lincoln's, especially with the new cooldown Diffusal, it's not reliable. So it's better for him, in his eyes, to just one-shot people so that Omni Knight can't get a chance to react. Who cares about Repel if you can just one-shot them with physical damage?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he can even one-shot KP if he really starts building up that damage. Won't have to worry about the Guardian Angel at all. More mobility coming out for Outworld Devourer.
And the gem is up on Sand King. So now Sand King has to be especially careful. Even TA, they would have gotten a lot more out of that Roshan fight had they had this gem a little bit earlier. And all these reserve rewards going to be toast.
He's only had it for a couple minutes now, but there is still plenty of vision up for Ad Finem just due to the rather unique areas that they are, especially that one inside base. But it doesn't do Ad Finem any good if Newbie are the ones marching into your base. They're already taking that tier 2 tower at top lane, and they may just keep going in order to force Ad Finem back. Ad Finem, of course, on the opposite side of the map, as they are constantly want to do. They're trying to make some trade-offs here, but...
So this is Skylark's time to shine. He is smoked up, he is ready. They were grouped up as 4, but now sensing that everyone was out, and we'll just back off.
Yeah, they... Newbie C, nobody's actually pushing down that tier 2 anymore, so...
It's so risky pushing into Darkseer. Like, he didn't have a good vacuum wall, that's because he had to jump into them, but when you're playing on the defense, when you have the high ground, when you have the invisibility from smoke, it can destroy a team that has no BKBs.
At the same time, there is only an Aegis for another minute and a half. Do you think Newbie are still going to try and force it with this Aegis?
No way. Their lanes are not pushed in. I think going down bottom is just too risky. They still don't have any BKBs, and if you pre-repel someone, it's still a little bit risky too, just because your Omni Knight can die. And now the TA is on top of the net worth chart, just a couple hundred above the OD, but that's pretty difficult considering that she has had like almost no track kills, and they've been having to play from the back foot from like minute 2.
It's looking like Ad Finem actually want to try and force things at the top lane. They're drawing the line, and they're setting up for a big-time push just about the time that the Aegis is going to be expiring from Newbie.
Yeah, there's still a minute left on Aegis, but you have to respect Luna and TA when it comes to pushing power, especially when you don't have the Dezo on your team.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the TA by herself is going to be able to chunk down this tier 3 tower, and nobody wants to fight around a Luna when she's already hitting on your Raxes, but Newbie are a bit slow to get here. They're going to come forward. SC, nice blink backwards there by Thug. Unfortunately, Luna doesn't have the same kind of mobility. They're going to need to get off the BKB, but it doesn't go down. The first strike comes out first, and they've already blown up the big carry of Ad Finem and taken down the Bane as well. BKB TP out for 1, but the supports and the utility offlane won't be as lucky. That's 4 down from Ad Finem as SC picks up the triple kill. Newbie, they easily defend, and now they can be the ones clearly on the offensive.
They had an Observer Ward up the hill, but it wasn't enough to give Luna enough information to pop her BKB right as soon as possible, pretty much. And she just got destroyed by this OD who has a lot of intel, 155 intel. And they don't have the Aegis anymore, but with BKB still down for 30 seconds on the TA, and with 4 heroes dying, looks to be a clear sign for them to push up high ground. They really wanted a T3 down. I think Luna becomes like so much stronger once the T3's down because the glaives just bounce back and forth between the racks.
Thug sets up quick meld strike on U9, but real sad thing is they do not have a wall of replica. That's one of the big high ground defending abilities. Oh, heavy nukes coming out. Nightmare will manage to help Thug dodge some of that, but the tier 3 tower is already down. Move forward, manage to get a 2-man vacuum, pull back onto the 2 carries. He actually has Bean's grip onto 9. Newbie are setting up with the epicenter, but Thug managed to jump forward. He interrupts that, but perhaps at the cost of his own life. No, he pops a BKB, moves forward, goes straight for the Juggernaut as quick as possible. KB, he'll get off the Guardian Angel, and immediately Ad Finem start retreating. They don't want to fight around that, but they may just be forced to. With another catch of the imprisonment, Skylark's going to be in serious trouble. He's the first to go down. Newbie now with a numbers advantage for 50 seconds as there's no buyback on the Darkseer.
And you can just see the strength of the Omni Knight here. GA, okay, everyone backs off from Ad Finem, man. Darkseer didn't blink out and retreat like the rest of the team, and he paid the heavy price.
And they don't have big ultimates at all. They don't even have BKBs. Nothing is going to be able to save Spartan there. SC, he realized what a dominant position Newbie are in for this next team fight. They easily clean up the full lane of racks, and they can choose to go for more here.
Ooh, Luna Diffusal. This is unexpected at this point, considering she just died in one of the recent fights. It doesn't look like she sold any of her items, so maybe they can take this fight. Darkseer does have his wall up again.
Another jump forward, and SC's going to force Madara back to base. Actually, Madara's going to come forward because they got a really good vacuum and a wall combination, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. They don't have any damage coming out. Thug trying to battle up against the Juggernaut, but he gets taken down by the Omni Slash nice and easy, and there's nothing Luna could do at half HP. They just call it. Ad Finem will relent to an SC godlike in this game number 1. Newbie looking so dominant here on the main stage as they, at a score of 17-3, have a clear lead now in this series.
Risky plays from them. I think that Ad Finem just knew the entire game that they couldn't win a team fight, and they tried to draw it out as long as they could, trying to split push as much as they could, gather as much information with the Bounty Hunter, but at the end of the day, their team fight was worse, and when push came to shove, which was when they pushed high ground or
and that fatal mistake has to be that top lane push, right? Where they didn't manage to get back in time, and the Luna essentially just got picked off immediately.
They needed to like just BKB TP out on their cores. If they lose the support, it's not that big of a deal. But as soon as the cores TP back, then they can split push out the side lane. So another day at work for Newbie.
Yeah, it really does look like that. As Newbie showing why they were one of the 5 favorites going into this tournament. And even if they were in a group with Virtus Pro, I think everybody looked at VP to take this tournament as a whole. Newbie still showed that they are one hell of a team to contend with.
And you have to be ever so impressed with SCCC. He is just absolutely crushing on that Invoker. 9-0-5 at the end. He kept up pace. Despite 5-manning with his entire team, he was like almost on top of net worth the entire game.
SC was crushing, and I know at least one member of the panel who was crushing on SC. Alex, are you there with Shiver?
Oh, Cap, I'm so proud of you.
I know.
Oh,
I know you'd like that one.
That was beautiful. Yes, indeed.
Just for you, Alex.
That was wonderful. I love that. But yes, Shiva is joining me alongside Winter and Fog. Thank you very much, Cap and Malini. Oh, I'm still reeling from that. That's put a big smile on my face. That was like a birthday card, you know?
Oh.
Good
I guess you don't get a lot of compliments then.
No, it wasn't a compliment. He was just making a dank meme, and I liked it. Yeah, I like a good pun.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually fuel me.
I like your rhymes.
My rhymes. They're 90% accidental, but occasionally I try to do them deliberately. Still, I mean, a lot of accidents did happen for Ad Finem, right? I mean, look at this scoreline. We came in suggesting we've got a good 3-game series, and despite the draft, perhaps raising a couple of questions about that Bounty Hunter, an 18-3 scoreline.
So the early game was absolutely horrible for Ad Finem. I felt like we said we had a lot of pressure on MNT creating space and just doing his thing, and he couldn't really do that. The bottom lane crushed, like Newbie's dry lane was absolutely dominant. But it was still Ad Finem coming back in the mid game saying, and we said how strong they were with fighting that, and they definitely proved that. But that start though.
Yes. Well, I mean, I just want to come back to the point you made before, Fogged. I think it was you or Winter just saying that Bounty Hunter has to do whilst early, has to get...
That was Giannis.
That was Giannis.
Yeah, they didn't give him the chance to. They put this aggro tri-lane. I really like Newbie's way that they approach this game. They recognize there's no way that they can fight our tri-lane, even if they bring the Bounty Hunter down there. It's too much pressure. Ad Finem even saw the rotation. They tried to put the Bounty Hunter in the bottom lane and put the Darkseer jungling, try to get the most out of the lane. But Newbie's like, okay, we'll just take your tower. And I think that was
2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes, earliest tower I think we've seen taken at this entire tournament.
That was just a very, very good play by Newbie, setting the tone and the pace of the game.
Yeah,
just punishing them for the weak lanes.
Yeah.
Ad Finem tried to stop the bleeding a bit, and I think they succeeded in that for a while.
Yeah, they did a really good job for that.
There was definitely a chance for them to also come back. Like this fight right there.
The vacuum.
If the vacuum was like a split second before if the repel wasn't there, like it could have been amazing. It wasn't, unfortunately, for Ad Finem.
It was just like in the position that they got their Luna placed into, it's so hard to play Luna in this game. That's why I was kind of emphasizing, like, I personally, like, just looking at Finem, I wanted them to draft the Ursa. But, like, I know why they did the Luna, because they wanted to be able to scale harder. But you could see how hard he struggled. He's like, I need a BKB. Even when he gets his BKB, doesn't even get it off, gets instantly disabled, blown up. And even though Ad Finem did a great job of, like, delaying the game, MNT, maybe next time's movements, placing the wards, like, just watching the movement of Newbie, avoiding fights as much as possible, eventually, you have to fight. And they just weren't able to. The Luna is just way too far behind. When you're playing Luna and you're so far behind, it's horrible.
I mean, imagine if they had another kind of carry, a carry that comes online faster, a carry that is like Ursa, like Yannis mentioned. The game would have allowed them to be much more aggressive and maybe take some early fights and use the track on Bounty Hunter better. They were like, even though they were placing good wards with the bounty, but you do want to take fights, you do want to trade kills.
Yes.
You want to use your track.
So what would an Ursa have done much better than the Luna, apart from
you
coming
function
online
better
faster?
with less items.
Strong lane as well. It's like hard to really like kill. You match up well. It's a good in the carry matchup. You know, Jug versus Ursa.
Yeah.
Jug of course scales later on, but Ursa in the early stages is able to just obviously because you stack Furious type charges through the
but
spin.
I don't think he would be able to farm like. It's the same with Luna because they did an aggro charge. If Ursa is in that lane, I don't think he would have gotten a lot more than the Luna. But the main difference is he does a lot more than Luna with less items.
Less items.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we can actually take a look at the numbers and see what went wrong for Luna and co. The scoreboard will help showing exactly that. And I mean, if you look at the spread, it was just so minimal for Ad Finem. You're right, though. Shiva, you were saying in the green room that the score, that it's weird. Not sometimes we say a series or a game doesn't represent the full, the power of a series, but this scoreboard almost doesn't.
It really doesn't. There were so many potential fights that, if you would imagine this game, and if Ad Finem would have had a better laning stage, and those fights would have still happened, they would have won this game. I feel a stronger, more solid laning stage, be that because of different heroes. They would have outfought, I think, Newbie. Newbie won those fights purely based on the first 10 minutes and getting extra out of those first 10 minutes.
It's their weakness in the lanes, and their opponents would take advantage of that. You can't really get away. It's very difficult to get away with what they drafted for themselves. It's like a kind of weakness, and Newbie they took advantage of it. They took a tower and bottom lane, and that totally set the pace of the game.
Now, why is it that Kaka has been highlighted here on his Sand King as opposed to, say, Outworld Devourer we saw from SCC? What was it that sprung to mind when we were asking for MVP? You guys ended up saying Kaka on his Sand King.
His movements, I think.
Yeah, his movements.
Movements was really good, and he's the captain of the team, and the calls that he's been making. I mean, we don't know who made the specific call, but his movements on the Sand King set the pace of the game. He didn't focus on, I want to get my blink. I need a lane. He didn't do that. He was like always moving around. They smoked a lot in the early game just to get wards down, just to get kills for towers. So he was really selfless on the Sand King.
He did get it eventually. Yeah. He got his blink, and someone that doesn't blink ever is Purge. Let's head over to him.
I have been known to blink before. That was a damn lie. Stop telling lies about me. Oh my god. Okay, let's jump into the battle here. Great initiation. This is one of the deciding moments here due to the vacuum. Just jumping in on this. Oops, that's not what I want. I'll use a different tool. That initiation is really important because ideally they can grab the Fiend's Grip in addition with it, but the problem is that by the time it finally came out, he was already spinning, making him magic immune. And on the other side of the fight, that's why I'm getting the wrong tool. Sorry, guys. On the other side of the fight, the supports are super covered in a place where Ad Finem actually can't get to the backline. So a lot of their damage is magical, actually, especially with Luna Eclipse, things like that. But just because of the spin, it just makes it so much harder to get to the backline. And the next person that can hit the backline is actually Thug. But right here, he actually missed his Meld Strike, which would have started the fight off on a great spot. And kind of interesting play by Kaka here. Rather than finish his Epicenter channel, he actually instantly Burrow Striked him instead because he hadn't popped his BKB yet. So it's like the mix of things, the Jug spin as well as the missed Meld Strike and a very crucial Guardian Angel there by Omni Knight just really made the fight a guaranteed success for Newbie. And because Newbie had such good map movement, Ad Finem never really got a good fight in the first place and no good track hold from that. So there you go.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Purge. And I mean, he's doing a good job when you have Winter sitting there going, like it helps highlight these. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, ooh,
that was good. I mean, going back to the point that he made about the blink initiations on the Sand King. Like if you think about Ad Finem's lineup, who is the hero that's mainly starting the fights? It's the Darkseer with the vacuum. Like other heroes don't really have the ability to start fights as easily as the Sand King or even the OD with the imprisonment. So it's easier to play a lineup when you have multiple ways of like starting the fight.
Now,
Absolutely.
another name I want to talk about is KP. We actually have another treat for you guys. I've been thoroughly enjoying these player profiles. Both of them have been great. We got to see Rose, we got to see Jerax, and here comes number 3. It's KP we take a closer look at now, put him under the limelight and learn more about Omni Knight and his player.